Hi everybody. I've got a few moments of downtime this evening where the house is quiet and I've been able to sit and just, have a moment. And so I thought, after I've done a couple of recordings of card unboxings that I'm going to put on my YouTube channel, I'll share the link for those later. I thought I would pop on and pull out the good old Sacred Forest. Look at the state of this box. This is one of my favourite decks, and you can so tell because the box, I still keep them in my box because I absolutely love them, but the gold writing's a bit battered now, the box is a bit worse for wear, but these are one of my, if not my all-time favourite Oracle deck. So for anybody who hasn't seen them, they are absolutely gorgeous. They are a Denise Linn deck published by Hay House. They are still on sale. These often, because they are an older deck now, they often go on sale relatively cheaply. These are also perfect for anybody wanting to get into oracle card reading and anybody who's into nature. Anybody who has ever done any meditation with me will recognise the tree on the front, because I often take people into the sacred forest and often take them to the big wise old oak tree, and we go in through the door and we use that as a portal to go to other places. So Sacred Forest deck, that's them. There's 53 cards, and there is also, is it 53? 52 cards, but there's 53 audio downloads of guided meditations to connect you to the energy of the cards. First time I've ever read that on that box, because when I got them I just wanted to start reading with them straight away, so didn't do much reading at all. Still, I have to admit, I still haven't actually read the guidebook with them, but they are one of my favourite decks, if not my all-time favourite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop leaning on my desk, because when I'm leaning on my desk my camera's wobbling. So I'm going to shuffle some cards and I'm going to pull a card for the collective as we go into the new year. Anybody who's ever watched me work with my cards knows that this deck does not like to just have one card pulled. So it may be that we end up with more than one card, but for the time being I'm saying that we're having one card pulled. So first card that's come up, success. So 2025, Secret Spring, the success card. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. This is saying basically you can see, I wonder if I've got anything I could point to my card with. Let me see. Let me find something. There we go. So you can see with this, sorry about the pen. You can see with this, we've got this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous fairy. This beautiful lady. And I'm going to stand it on top of my box so it's a bit closer for you all. So we've got this gorgeous lady here, and we've got the boat. She's got the opportunity to go off on this boat. There's a light on the boat. However, travelling down this secret spring, what stands out most is the actual wings, the opportunity. So the wings are the opportunity to fly. So for me, the key for most of us, if not all of us, to 2025 will be about us. Yes, we can dip our toes like she has. I'll lift it up a bit. We can dip our toes into the spring of success that's there just waiting for us. We can get that taster of it, but really we can do that. We can get in the boat, we can travel along easily, but what we need to recognise is that the light for that, the energy for that, comes from within. Those wings have come from within, the energy comes from within, and that's what stands out most. It's about that self-belief. Yes, there's the means of, you can go the easy way, you can take that boat with a little bit of light in the way to guide you, or you can actually dip into your own self. You can look into your own self, look into your own energy, and begin to use that power of self to lead you to that success. Now the moon there in the background looks quite dark, but it's, for me, I'm reading that as though it's on the cusp of growing. It's about that growth. So things might start out challenging. Whatever you're aiming for in 2025 might be a challenge, but there's also the opportunity there to grow. And again, this is about more light. So that moon is going to bring more light across. It's also signifying that that's in the past side of the card. When I read, if I'm reading single cards, I always think of the past, the present and the future. So this is about the darkness is in the past. The present is you having to look to self, having to see that although you might be looking at some other light, perhaps even looking at somebody else's light, perhaps looking at the success of others, engaging yourself on that, actually stop doing that. Look at your own light, because you can't see it. That all that light is behind you, but you are filled, surrounded by that light. And then the future is, when you look at that side of the card, it's all green, it's all growth. Particularly, although that boat, canoe, whatever it is pointing this way, going back to the past, the oars are actually there. So this is again for me, when I'm looking at that part of the card, I'm looking at the oars, and the oars are showing that that's about you being in control. Take the reins, get into that control position and do what needs to be done. So for 2025, the secret spring, the success that you were achieving is or wanting to achieve is achievable. You have to see your own light. Stop judging your light by the success of others or the perceived success of others, and grab those oars. Do what needs to be done. Allow yourself to come out of the darkness into the light. So, as I've already said, these cards do not like just one card, so another card for the collective. So we'll call that the card for the first 6 months, should we? That's the card for the first 6 months of 2025. So let's see. Oh gosh, that's just happened to me. As I've gone to shuffle, that has just happened. So this card will be the latter half, so the second half. This is the spirit guardian of spring. So again, although spring is not in the latter half of the year, this is symbolic of that standing up, standing proud, standing really proud. You've got this crown at the top, like this tree, this big crown. Green is all about healing. Green as the tree, it's all about taking that oxygen in, making more oxygen, so making the world a better place. Being able to be in that top zone, in the head zone, but also being able to be focused and driven. So you've got this trunk, standing proud. There's going to be 4 significant things happen in the second half of the year for most of us. So there's going to be things that we can all identify with that are going to help make change happen, that are all going to make us look at our roots, because I'm really drawn to this yellow. Look at our roots, look at how we grow, look how we can develop and change as we go along. Be very conscious in the second half of the year, in that second 6 months of energy, because I'm drawn to these ribbons as though these are ribbons of energy. So be aware of how you can manipulate your energy, how you can take charge of that energy. You can learn to dance. Like this is making me think of a maypole. So allow yourself to learn how to dance with that energy. The yellow is again a colour of energy, it's a colour of joy. So that's reminding us in this second half of the year, I was going to say next year, in the second half of this year, there may be times when there's that need to focus on the roots, focus on joy, because it can be very easy when we go through change, when we go through periods of activation, transmutation and things like that. It can be very, very easy to hold on to too much of the past rather than look into the future. So this is bringing this energy. The swan makes me think of the swan is swans are the queens or kings now, isn't it? The king's birds. So this is making me think of that royalty, that sovereignty, and it's about that. Just as that final 6 months is coming up to a peak, you were looking at, again, thinking past, present, future. We're looking at you stepping into your own regality, into your own sovereignty. So you beginning to actually step fully into your power. So it's hinted at in this first card. In the second card, it's actually there. So this, again, this sovereignty, stepping into your own power, lots of stars around this again, and I'm particularly drawn to 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number 4 again feels significant. So watch out for the number 4 as you are going along on your journey. Lots of healing coming in. So we've got the energy of the summer, because the second half of the year is going to start with the summer. We've got the energy, the whites, the yellows, the light greens, going into the darker greens, your more evergreen. So thinking in a year's time, looking at that evergreen, that comfort from the warmth, comfort from going within, that healing, the inner healing that comes along with it. Watching out for clouds coming along the way. So this is making me think of little clouds. So watch out for anything that could, come your way that might deflect a little bit, might put you off. Just remember, everything's temporary. So this will, anything that's cloudy, that's a little bit dull, it will move away. So hold on to that yellow, the joyfulness and that gratitude for where you were at that point in time. Again, though, very much the message from this card for us all, same as this card, is about standing in your own sovereignty, this is about standing tall, be proud. There's nothing wrong with being proud. This one's about seeing your own light, seeing your own energy. And then eventually, by this time, 12 months from now, you will be sitting in your own sovereignty. You will be feeling that little bit richer, that little bit more powerful, that little bit more wholly and authentically yourself. So there we go. That was a little bit of a card for the collective, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you all again soon. Bye bye.